Okay. That's all okay. All right. Hello, everybody. We only have a few minutes because there's been so much good information. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. I will be here afterwards. Please feel free to reach out with questions and all that kind of stuff. So I want you to, number one, learn how to cross-sell if you're not already doing that. And number two, I want you to go back and think about talking to clients maybe from the past also. So work your new leads, learn to cross-sell, and then also think about potentially touching some older leads. Okay? Because you can use any of this for new leads or old leads. So big picture, be memorable, fill in the gaps, ask leading questions. I say that all the time. Ask more questions. So if you're not certified to sell Medicare Advantage plans, you can totally ask, how much are you paying for your health care? How much are you paying for your Medicare supplement? It is legal for you to ask those questions, okay? What we're trying to do is, say they've called in and you can't sell them final expense. They don't need final expense. But you're like, man, I just paid whatever a lead cost, an inbound lead cost these days. And you're like, I would like to be able to get, ROI out of this lead that I've paid for. So if you take a few minutes and you ask some questions, you can easily turn that lead that would have been dead in the water into a sale. If they have Medicare supplements, does everybody in here have a health license, or does some people just have life only? Okay. So most people have a health license. Is that okay? All right. So with a health license, you can sell Medicare supplements. You don't have to do any extra training. You don't have to go through AHIP, nothing. You can save money for them on a Medicare supplement. You can save them sometimes $30, $40, $50 a month or more. There's a final expense sale. Maybe they want to add some life insurance because you saved them that much money on their Medicare supplement cost, okay? So you're putting money back into their budget. Maybe you can pivot and also sell some final expense. Maybe they said they didn't have enough money to pay for final expense. You save them on a Medicare supplement. Guess what? You now know they have money because you saved them that money and you can put it towards the life insurance. So the coverage so a Plan G is a Plan G is a Plan G. It is the same with every single company. The only difference is the price. So I get that question a lot. Well, I love my people in South Carolina are nuts. They're like, I love my Blue Cross Blue Shield. But I'm like, do you really? Because you're paying triple what you could have another Medicare supplement for that's exactly the same coverage. Do you love them that much that you want to give them triple the amount of money because they are extremely expensive? And they're like, well, no, maybe not. So there's lots of opportunities out there once you just kind of integrate this and start asking the questions. Do y'all know what gap filler plans are? Yes, no? I'm going to tell you about it. All right. So Medicare Advantage plans they have major gaps in them. Medicare Advantage plans. And so when you ask them about how much they're paying for their health care coverage, if they give you a dollar amount, 99% of the time, that means they have a Medicare supplement plan. If they say, well, I don't pay anything for it, that means it's a Medicare Advantage plan. Most Medicare Advantage plans do not have a fee associated with them. Okay, so that's your clue that it is a Medicare Advantage plan. Then you're able to ask some other questions. Do you have some cancer insurance? Do you know about the gaps in Medicare Advantage plans? And they're probably going to say no, because if they knew the gaps in Medicare Advantage plans, somebody would have already, they would have already potentially gotten cancer plan and or a hospital indemnity plan. So Medicare Advantage plans do not cover the cost of cancer. They could end up paying 20% out of pocket for radiation. It doesn't cover the cost of all the drugs. It is a major gap in Medicare Advantage plans. Number one. Number two, if they go into the hospital, they have a fee per day that they have to pay for being in the hospital. It ranges from $350 per day to $400 per day, depending on a certain amount of days. Sometimes it's 1 to 5 days. Sometimes it's 1 to 8 days. So a lot of people cannot come up with that kind of money out of pocket, okay? And let me back up for a second. If they are Medicaid, they don't necessarily need this product because the Medicaid is going to cover all of that. you will probably get that out of them. They'll say, I don't pay anything, or maybe they let you know that they're on Medicaid, and that is something you can ask, or are you getting assistance from the state or, Medicaid or whatnot. So that is, I sell probably 6 a week hospital indemnity plans. And it's for normal income people who are not on Medicaid, who understand what can happen if they get diagnosed with cancer. The other thing is they're paying $0 for their health care. Why would they not spend $50 to $60 more to fill in some major gaps in their plan? So that's really all you're talking about. And it will put really good money back into y'all's pockets. And they need it. I mean, you gotta believe in what you're doing, but they need it. And I had a client call me last year, and she said, thank you. She called me and just started saying thank you. And I was like, well, you're welcome. I don't know exactly what I did, but you're welcome for whatever I did. And she said, I'm glad I bought the cancer plan because my husband has terminal brain cancer. And they used the money to get some treatments and things like that. And she was like, I'm so glad that you helped me, that you told me that I should do that. So it does make a difference, and sometimes you get pushback, but you can share my story if you don't have one yourself. So, all right, we covered that. Retirement planning, I do trainings. Some people come, some people don't come. You're free to do whatever you like. You can still reach out to me about annuities. Retirement accounts are out there. You just got to ask the questions. Learn a couple of things like, do you have a 401k? Do you have a 403b? Do you have a 457? It's just different places. 403b is school, and 457 is city, and 401k is for profit. So if you are not asking those questions, I encourage you to. I think it's in the script. Maybe somebody tell me. I don't know. I think it's maybe in the script somewhere. It used to be. So blue collar for annuities, just referring specifically to annuities, we're not looking for people who have got, huge portfolios, who've got a financial advisor. We're looking for that blue collar person who is retiring, who's coming out of work, who doesn't know what to do with their 401k. I've had so many people that have asked that are like, I didn't know what to do with it. I just cashed it in and now it's all gone. I mean, which is crazy. But they didn't know any better. So you're on the phone, you're talking to people every single day. Why would you not ask them that question? It's pretty simple, and you can make a nice bit of pocket change.
Well, 1K, Cammie. So somebody's still working, right? And their job's contributing. You don't take that as an annuity. You said when they're retired.
Well, a lot of people have old 401ks that they had at a previous job that they have not done anything with. So they definitely can do something with those accounts. If they are, depending on their age, they could protect that money out of that 401k, but we kind of have to see what their rules are with the company as well, because sometimes they will let them do it, sometimes they won't. But definitely, and you cannot take any disbursements until 59 and a half. But we have fantastic products for younger people that have an old 401k that are like they want it for later, that will grow like exponentially. So there's a lot of options for any age out there with that. We have a fact finder that I created. It's in the CRM somewhere. Don't ask me where it is. I don't know those details, but it is in there. Talk to your warm market about the fact that you can help them with their retirement account. If you start talking about what you do to people in your warm market, you will be surprised that they might want to do business with you. But if you're a secret squirrel agent and you're not telling anybody what you do and you're staying in your office at home, guess what? They're not going to know. So I say join the chamber, tell people what you do, that kind of thing. So you insure retirement accounts. That's an easy way to say it. Did you know I could insure a retirement account? They're like, what? What does that mean? Well, there you go. There's your open door. People who have CDs and savings accounts, and they're just like, well, I got all my money in the bank. Well, what if I could pay you 5.8%? You could start drawing interest the month after we put this money into a MIGA, and you're not going to make a lot of money on a MIGA, but it's a great product for people who are super wary of putting it into a different product. It's basically like a CD. They can put their principal in it. They can take the interest starting 30 days afterwards and live off that interest or use that interest for whatever. They're not even touching the principal. Okay? So that's an option too. That's with Heartland. Okay, I brought 2 different brochures. And let's see what the next one is. Okay. So also Medicare supplements. Another thing about Medicare supplements, if you're working with someone that has a Medicare supplement and they do not have a long-term care plan, a lot of times it's too late for them to get them, especially if they have some health conditions or if they're older, they're too expensive. Aetna has a fantastic policy that will allow those people to stay at home, and it will provide income to pay caregivers to take care of them. This should be a huge seller with Medicare supplement clients who don't have long-term care, because it really does allow them to stay at home. It goes up to like 52 weeks. You can pick your amount of weeks and how much you want. So you choose up to $1,500 a week for 52 weeks. And if they end up getting into a situation where they have to be at home and they don't want to or need to go to a rehab or something, they can choose to stay at home, and that money pays that caregiver. So it's a really good product. I got brochures so y'all can take them and read them and all that kind of stuff. That is a great product for people in that higher income Medicare supplement bracket, okay? Especially if they don't have long-term care. I get asked all the time, we still don't have a contract for long-term care. I've been fighting for it for about a year now. So hopefully we will have it soon, maybe. But this, in my opinion, is another good replacement for that. They're about to get the thing, what do you call it, where they pull you off the stage, the hook thing, and I'm talking fast, y'all. Okay, grandkids, y'all know about that. That's a great way to cross-sell grandkids. Hopefully you guys are asking about that. HIP, those are the gap fillers. I include cancer with that, unless they have a standalone cancer plan. Manhattan is great for dental, vision, and hearing, and it has cancer plans and all that kind of stuff. The Aetna plan we've already talked about. And boom, this is Retire Flow link. If you want to refer clients to me, we pay you for referring clients over. That's the Retire Flow link you can use. If you don't want to write it yourself, this is what we send out to our clients, and this is how we get their information compliantly over to us. So that is that.